Let's get into it.
Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. These guys, I think both of them are warriors, and for that reason, I'm gonna make this very first card my Nuck If You Buck fight of the night.
God dang, starting it off early.
Started off early, man. I forgot last week, so I had to get it in this week. Both, I think they have great striking. I do think Yadong has some low volume. I see his fight style a lot like what we saw with Brandon Moreno in that UFC Mexico card. He's going to swing, and he's going to swing hard, but he's not going to swing a lot, where I think Jan's going to have him in that category. Um, a lot of his fights, I think they end in counters. Yan, he's just really good at that. Both of them are very accurate strikers. Yan, his grappling's better, I think, than Song Yadong. I don't know how great it is, but obviously this guy was a champion at one point, so he's pretty darn decent. Keeps his hands up, so I don't think he's going to get any of those surprise knockouts. High action, good gas. Yadong, you're looking at him. He waits for windows. That kind of goes to the low volume also. Just instead of just throwing as often as he can, he just keeps looking for his spot, which can be good, but in a fight that could possibly go to decision like this one, man, I just think that you're going to have volume. And I think that's what Jan's going to have, even though Yadong is younger. And another really weird thing is with all my research, I've been looking at some of like the biggest names in the industry. Everybody's going with Song Yadong, but the line keeps moving in Petr Yan's favor. I don't know what's up with that. I think Petr Yan's the better fighter. I'm going to go with Petr Yan on the money line. Um, Everything I was initially looking at and reading was Song Yadong, but when I watched the tape, I feel good about Yan. What do you think, Bobby?
This one is very interesting in terms of the odds because, as you mentioned, the odds start off very even, very close, even as recently as yesterday, and have now evolved to the point where Yadong is a plus 105 and Jan's a minus 125. Whereas yesterday, I believe it was like minus 118 to minus 122 or something. Extremely close. Once again, though, I am like you and a little bit confused as to why it has continued to skew in Jan's favor because that's kind of disappointing to me as a Jan fan. I'm not a dong guy. I'm heterosexual. Thank you very much. So not big on the dong, but Petr Yan, yeah, I get it. He's on a 3-fight skid right now. Had some terrible luck against the current champ, who's also fighting on this card, Sean O'Malley. Very contentious decision loss that he suffered to him, lost to Aljo, lost to Marab. But it's not like Jan has lost a step. For example, that loss to Marab, he defended, I think it was something outrageous, like 39 of the 50 takedown attempts.
Yeah.
You just don't get points for defending takedowns in MMA right now. So he lost the fight on the scorecards as a result. It doesn't matter how many takedowns you defend, it just matters how many takedowns the other guy lands. And we all know Marab's style, so I don't need to get into that. But yeah, this is an interesting fight. Don't get me wrong. I do think the Dongster is good. I do think he is, he has a place in that division. He's going to stick around probably top 10, top 15, kind of be a perennial guy in that area. But I just think this is kind of the perfect bounce back fight for Petr Yan. If he's able to defend takedowns like that from Marab, hands down the best grappler in that division currently. I don't think Yadong's going to have anything for him in the grappling department. Jan's the way better striker. You know, he's made guys like Corey Sandhagen look foolish, easily cruised to a good win over him. Knocked out Jose Aldo before. Granted, that's Jose at the tail end of his career. Nonetheless, still impressive to stand and bang with Aldo and wear him down in a war of attrition like that and take some shots and survive. So I'm really liking Yan. I think this is a good bounce back fight. I'm just a little disappointed that the odds have been more skewed in his favor. So try to kind of take that sting away. Decision's not bad. That's pretty safe at a plus 140. He's not going to get a sub. It's tempting at plus 2,000, but this is not going to be a grappling heavy fest. It'll just be Jan stuffing takedowns. That'd probably be the extent of it. I do, however, this is a little bit bold, but I got to start, swinging for the fences to try to, give you listeners what you deserve out there, get you some paydays. I do like Jan KO TKO plus 500. And here's one reason why I'm kind of feeling a little froggy with that. When I was looking at the Dongster's record here, Song Yadong's, I did notice that there was somebody that had knocked him out in his career that kind of made me get that little LL Cool J going on. And for this one, I'm going to do the Birdman rubbing my hands. I like that one, this particular card, rubbing hands like Birdman. And that was that Corey Sandhagen had KO'd TKO'd the Dongster before. And I just talked about Corey Sandhagen and how good of a striker he is. And Petr Yan even made him look a little bit ridiculous. So without getting into too much MMA math, I just really think Yan is the superior striker. As long as his mental side of things holds up and he's not letting that 3-fight skid kind of ruin him mentally, which I don't think he is. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's definitely out to prove he still belongs. And especially with the outcome of the Bantamweight Championship being decided this weekend, we've seen divisions get blown wide open that we thought were solidified for years. We thought welterweight was solidified with Usman. We thought 185 was solidified with Adesanya. We thought 145 was solidified with Volkanovski. This is just what Yan needs to get back in the winner's circle, start another run to try to reclaim his Bantamweight Championship. And I think especially at plus 500, with him being such a good cerebral technical striker with Muay Thai boxing, elbows, kicks, the whole 9 yards. And, even though it's a 3-round fight, I just think he's going to be too much for Song Yadong, and I really do like that plus 500 KO TKO for him.
I love that, Bobby. I love that. There's a lot of dong slobbing going on right now around YouTube, so I'm glad that we're going against the grain a little bit.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listening and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spots from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Better in Green.